Hey everyone, this is Renee here, and I wanted to talk a little bit today about those of us who need other people's approval. Now first, there's a difference between wanting other people's approval and needing it. It's always nice to have other people's approval. It makes us feel good, it gives us a little bit of a boost, but in the absence of getting someone's approval, we should also not feel bad about ourselves. We want to build up the self-esteem and the confidence in ourselves that whether we get that approval or not, we still feel good about who we are and what we're doing so that we're not dependent on someone else. Feeling good about ourselves and having that self-esteem frees us, it liberates us, and we can give ourselves that self-esteem and that encouragement at any time. But when we need it from someone else, we are now dependent on other people for approval. And in the absence of that, we can kind of feel kind of bad about ourselves. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that and do a tapping script that you can tap along with me to help kind of move that out. When we tap about it, we say it out loud, our own ears hear it, and we acknowledge the feelings, we acknowledge where we are, and then we also state, so that we hear it also, what it is we want to replace that behavior and that thought pattern with. So, one other thing I want to mention about needing other people's approval. I'm willing to bet that you are very sensitive to criticism. I know, my people, I get it. I'm there too. But what we have to do is if you're very sensitive to the energies around you, if you're sensitive to other people's moods, you're sensitive to what people say to you, you're sensitive to receiving criticism, what we have to do is to not make getting people's approval the mechanism for avoiding criticism. And so often we turn into people pleasers, we turn into doormats, and we turn into chameleons as a way to avoid getting criticism, so that if we can do what other people want, then we'll never get criticized, we'll get the approval we want, and then we'll feel safe. My friends, we've got to change this. This may have been something we learned growing up or at some point in our lives, but what we have to do now is to own our power and own who we are and love ourselves. And one way to love ourselves is by giving ourselves approval and feeling good about who we are. It doesn't mean we have to be perfect. No one's perfect. But when we treat ourselves with that love and kindness and compassion, then we are not dependent on someone else, and then we're not manipulating ourselves or anything else in our life to avoid the threat of criticism. So let's tap about this. If you're new to tapping, follow along with me, tap where I tap, and we'll do a call and respond. So when I pause, that's where you repeat what I just said. Let me take off my noisy bracelet and my hair tie, and we'll get started. Okay. All right, so starting by tapping on the side of the hand, follow along. Here we go. All right. Even though I need other people's approval, I choose to love myself. Even though I really, really want other people's approval for what I'm doing, I choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself. Okay, moving on. I really want other people to approve of me. Getting their approval would make me feel so good. It would make me feel safe. If I got other people's approval, I would know that I'm okay. I wouldn't have anything to worry about. I would feel accepted. And so I go to great lengths sometimes to get other people to tell me I'm okay. What the heck am I doing here? I'm putting my power in other people's hands. I'm allowing other people to give me my value and my worth. And even though my head knows this, my heart isn't convinced. And this tapping is to help my heart understand that this is just a lie I bought into about myself. My worthiness does not come from someone else. My worthiness does not come from other people. It starts with me. It starts with me giving it to myself. I have great concern and care for what I think about myself. Any attempts I make to please others are often my attempt to avoid criticism. And this controls me a lot. It turns me into a people pleaser and a chameleon. I don't need to keep doing this, however. Maybe at one time I learned that this is what I had to do to get love and approval. And now I'm still doing it. But all that this is doing is making me unhappy and giving my power away. It's keeping me captive. And it's keeping me from knowing my value. It's time to move this out. This has just become a habitual pattern. Like any habitual pattern, it takes effort to change it. And I can change it one thought at a time. Now that I'm aware of this pattern, I can change it. When I catch myself looking for other people's approval, I remind myself that it is important what I think and feel. I remind myself that I'm the one who has to live with the consequences of my actions. What do I think of it? And I decide to give myself that importance. I decide to give myself that value. I decide to take a chance on myself. Who I am is worthwhile and valuable. Who I am is precious. It's nice to get other people's approval. But whether I get it or not, it doesn't define me. I let go of the fear of not getting other people's approval. I let go of the worry. I choose to know that I am good enough. And I decide to let go of this old pattern that has been running my life. I am worthy of love, and I start by giving it to myself. When I give it to myself, it also flows into my life easily and naturally. I don't have to do anything to earn worthiness. I am already worthy just as I am. Take a deep breath. And that's it for now. I could go on and on, but those are the main points. Those are the main points that I wanted you to get, and I hope that that tapping script helped you to work through it. All right? If you have any questions about this topic, please leave it for me below this video. This is such an important topic and one that many, many people struggle with, and I'm here to help. I really hope that that has helped you to shift. Repeat this as necessary, because those thoughts will continue to come up, or that urge or that impulse to get someone else's approval. It will get poked, throughout the day or the week. So tap through it. By tapping, we help things shift and clear them out. Okay, Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me. Wonderful to have you along, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks, everyone.